Well, if it isn't my personal savior. Sit down, friend. Better, that's for sure. Thanks to you, I can finally get back to normal. You don't know how much I missed sitting around the fire with my little brother, eating his legendary venison stew. Nothing better. A tear in the weirdness. I'm sure of it now. I spoke with Derov, described what I saw and felt, and he told me it was the weirdness. Either way, I never want to go back there. Made a deal with Sobdar that if I ever start losing it again, he'll split my skull and forget all about our traditions. And being the good little brother he is, I know he'll do it. I'm gonna sit here until my strength comes back. Then I'll do whatever one eye orders me to do. Speaking of loyalty and good deeds, here, take this talisman as a sign of our friendship. It's fine steel and weird deer antler. If you're ever in our lands, my people will know it and welcome you. It does. Each of us makes our own talisman on the day we're given the name. So from today, you might as well call yourself Groder. May the weirdness never swallow you. I don't recommend it.
Mother help me. I just hope I'm no making a mistake. My berserkers won't let you pass without my say-so.
Hello again, traveler. I hope the road has treated you kindly. Thank you. I know it might seem small, but you may have just saved someone's life. Probably not, but one can only hope. Here is the promised payment. We're one of the oldest and most prestigious guilds on Avalon. Founded by Eru, the Fast Rider, shortly after King Arthur arrived on the island. For centuries, we've roamed Avalon, mapping every corner and trying to understand its very essence. And that's what we continue to do, because change is in the land's nature. Our work will likely never be done. Safe travels.
Off the leash, are we? They must have had their fun with you. Who had you as their plaything? The Church? The Druids? Some band of cutthroats? Ah, but it doesn't matter now that you're free. I'm Abigail, a knight. I swore my sword to my lady's will, and she kept me close, until she had no more use for me. Now, I walk alone, but a shadow never strays too far. You look wretched, and you smell like death. I've seen people like you before. Broken, worn down, dragged through the mud. If you've had enough of it all, I could grant you an honorable death. In a proper duel, you lived like a cur, but you could die like a knight. Wouldn't that be just splendid? Just say the word. I'm more than happy to oblige.
Sweet all-mother, is he still whining about that contract? I want it fair and square. My offer was simply better, and Heffen's crap at negotiating. Besides, if you ask me, it's all just posturing. He might have lost the contract for his family, but for him, it was a clear win. Trading with the Keep in an official capacity. It means I don't just run this stand, I also handle orders from the captain and the quartermaster. It's a good deal, I won't lie, but it requires a lot of running around. I don't have time to twiddle my thumbs and make nice with the locals like Heffen does. Look, Heffen may seem dim, but he's a sly bastard. I'm not saying he lost on purpose, because I doubt that. But he didn't have to slink back to Connacht with his tail between his legs. He's got his little stall in the village, and he lords over it like a bloody king. Grouch that he is, he fits right in with the rest of those old codgers. Plus, he got his family off his back. All in all, I'd say he's doing quite well for himself. Well, off you go.
Did they resist? Oh, I hope they did. Do you keep bandits' fingers as trophies? I would. Go, the hunter waits. Go, the hunter waits.
You shouldn't be here. This is no place for the living. Poor sod. I pity you. The slaughter has come to pass. A foul affair. Brutal beyond measure. Many lives reduced to one. Just me, all on my lonesome. Humans have a rather dreadful tendency to descend into madness, especially when forced to live among others in a cage like that one. You could try counting. I grew tired of that long ago. We slaughtered one another until, after countless hours, I awoke from the frenzy, only to find there was nobody left to kill. Poor Poor Alice and Edan. Those were the last two I killed. Those two I remember most clearly. Their bodies lie somewhere over there. It's staggering, isn't it? How many good lives have been wasted in this wretched place. You should not ask me. The Druids created this place. They called it the Hall of Trials, as they sought to find a worthy pet for themselves. We all wanted to see the garden, to learn something from those cunning vermin. I doubt they expected such an outcome themselves. I cannot. I am bound to it for eternity. I think my name was Mallory. I wandered in search of meaning, until one night, a very special dream came to me. In that dream, a beautiful, towering flower whispered to me, "You will find me, if you want me, in the garden." And so, I resolved to seek that place. This is what I found, from the rain to the gutter. I suppose it's what lies beyond those ever-watching, ever-listening doors. They wait for our next move. Soon, it will all be decided. When we finish our little conversation, all will be set in motion. To be honest, I fear there is no plan. Not just here, but in all things. It may well be the most terrifying vision, that we live in a world stripped of the forces that set things right when they go astray. A world where there is no hand to guide, no balance to restore. Perhaps we should finish our conversation. There's no point in dragging it out anymore. If I could ask you one thing, try. Just try. I truly wish to leave this place for good.
What a grim moment this is. I had hoped that poor wretch Mallory would be the last unfortunate trapped by the farce we created. Of course, I should feel obliged to greet you at the very beginning. My name is Prydwen, and I am the last druid in this garden, and its last living creator. I believe the wretch named Mallory deeply hoped that you would be the one to end his life, and he was not mistaken. After all his waiting, something he hoped for finally came to pass. I know what this place used to be, but now the garden is tainted, like all of us. I assume this is the answer to the meaning we've been searching for. The first resurrection of Arthur shattered our understanding of the eternal cycle. It was beyond our comprehension. We needed to take a step back, and for that we needed a place of peace. The idea of a garden reminded us of the quiet murmur, and so we created the garden. We really believed that we could reinvent humanity in a world like that. Unthinkable. Even now, after so many years, the king was dragged back to the land of the living whenever humanity sought its legendary protector. It turned out to be abuse. To take the memory of a life so precious and full of potential and turn it into a cruel mockery, step by step, over and over, leading it to its inevitable degradation. Not in the way I expected, but yes, I have found the answers. The source of our doom is humanity itself. It's an infinite jest and the perfect tragedy of our lives. That which makes us human is a hindrance that complicates everything. We never truly know what we are or the nature of our lives until we succumb to corruption. Whether it is born of madness or the weirdness, the result remains the same. Only then does everything begin to appear as it truly is. This place is like a terrifying mirror, and so it will remain, unless something is done to change it. Indeed, humanity is but a waste product in the grand reaction of our existence. Each resurrection of Arthur made it painfully clear that we have no true understanding of who we are, what our nature is, or where we belong in this world. For anything can happen, and we, as humans, are not creatures suited to grasp the concept of pure potential. All that Mallory was, you witnessed in the Hall of Trials. All that we created, you see here in the garden, and you could only truly see it once it had been distorted. Corruption revealed what lay deep within us. That is precisely what the weirdness does to a human. What has already happened cannot be undone. There is only one thing left to do, to bring it to an end. There is a sealed gate. Beyond it lies something that must be destroyed. Whether to face this terror or not, the choice is yours. If you consider that to be your path, then here, take the seal. Forgive me, but I may not fully grasp your question. If you do nothing, then nothing will change. You may leave and allow things to remain as they are. But in time, it will all end regardless. Slow, inevitable demise. For in this world, all things move toward their end. Abomination born from a futile and wasted life, the child of our vain pursuits. have returned. You reek of blood. You reek of purification. You've killed our child and set the fate of the garden on a new path. So, peace will come sooner than I expected. Now, at last, I shall have quiet and slumber. Let the flower bloom in all its beauty and die as it was always meant to. Thank you, Seeker.
So, did you get what you needed from Vran, or are you sticking around? Oh, weird place, this. Back in the Forlorn Swords, we didn't have many strangers wandering about. Maybe a pict or two every so often, but they're a different kind of strange. Guess I'll have to get used to it. See you around, I guess.
The Wanderer saved Grodair. Therov is proud. He'll be fine. He's back with us, safe. He'll recover soon. And, if not, at least he'll be aware if someone challenges him to a duel. We'll give him a good death. We don't wish to. Therov sees it as a last resort. Besides, Grodair would choose death over falling into madness again. Ask him. He'll confirm it.
Go. Bring glory to your ancestors. Therov will be waiting.
I don't know how to thank you. You didn't have to do this, but you took the risk. Praise Mather! Thanks to you, Grodair will soon be back to his old self.
My berserkers won't let you pass without my say-so.
You, this, take. An invitation, the Queen. Her word, the highest law. I am a servant.
Someone's out there! You made a bit of
You, here. She is there. You will take the path. You will hurry. Brock Miala. Home. Life. Life needs a home. We want to live. Every queen needs a consort. Consort, you. Brock, consort, traitor. Brock refused. The queen's heart is broken. The queen will love. We will all love.
My knight, protector, you are here. I have waited so long for you. This is my home. I need someone to bridge the gap between my home and the world. Someone to care for us. Our protector. There is one who betrayed me. Brock. Once he was my consort, my chosen, my protector. He was mine. I entrusted him with the hive, with me. And he fled, left me, abandoned his queen. Such betrayal is unforgivable. It weakens us, weakens me. Find him and silence his song. Do this, and I shall reward you. The hive shall reward you. Now go, end this discord. I have expressed my will, Protector. You must fulfill it, or perish. We shall see about that.
You're here again. And that means the troubles didn't stink you. Do you need anything? Of course. Go ahead. Choose something. Just as I thought. The buzzing has ceased. For the first time in years, I hear nothing. It's quiet. Such peace. I'd hope to see you again. This is a great day. I thank you, Liberator of Brockmere. I thank you deeply. I kept something for such an occasion. Please, you should take it. A well-earned reward. Well, I suppose I'll continue my travels, offering my services wherever they're needed. There is much foul magic in this world, and the weirdness takes many forms. I hope I shall cross paths with somebody I can help. In the meantime, be well, my friend.
Luck's a fickle thing. Hope it's on your side today.
Let me guess. Camelot, no? Timberwall, also no? So you're not from the north? Ah, of course.
You must be from Connacht. I should have guessed right away. So, who's in charge there now?
Oh, I was just wondering what's going on out there. Here in the south, we have our own affairs. What happens out there in the world? Well, the news doesn't always travel all the way here.
And they should. It's in our common interest.
You know, people are talking about rising unrest in the north, and a secret coalition preparing a coup at the highest levels of power. And that whole plague thing is just a tool to reach their final goal. The Red Priests are also trying to get something out of it.
And to be honest, it's not gone too bad for them. The Druids are out of the picture already.
Well, sure. They want to establish a new order on our island. And it's not clear who's involved in the whole mess.
Maybe. Maybe our captain is even involved. Hell knows. They have their people everywhere. Damn it, you could be one of them too. Although when I look at you, I don't think so. You have such a stupid face. With all due respect, of course. Wait a minute. I'm not suggesting anything here. I'm just thinking out loud.
It doesn't make sense that the plague appeared just like that. Out of bloody nowhere? Hell no. It's a high-stakes game. Aye. When I realized all of this, I couldn't pull myself together either.
Take our Excalibur as an example. Here, read this. You won't believe your eyes when you get to the second chapter.
That's the case. Those sons of bitches are good at hiding. They kinda blend in and live among us. It's hard to tell if it's hideous magic or some other tricks. You see? It takes one to know one. And that means we're just pawns. Folks like us won't change anything. But we have to talk out loud. It suits them when everyone keeps their mouth shut.
You know, I've been thinking lately. What if King Arthur is just a stupid fairy tale? What if the nobles and others involved in the whole conspiracy just made him up? And us peasants eventually just started to believe in it.
You know, one story for everyone. They drilled it into our heads, and drilled until it finally stuck. And then they built statues, wrote books, and everything else.
Yeah? Don't tell me you're one of those fools that think that the All-Mother exists. Have you ever seen her? How do you know that we're not being lied to?
Exactly. But maybe one day you'll see the truth.
who's come to visit me here? Surely you're not here to steal my treasures, are you? Oh, they call me all sorts of things. Evil spirit, lurking fiend, imp fae, nasty little thieving pairs. But really, my name is Mog. It happens. I suspect it's because I really like to snatch people's little trinkets. But between you and me, if they paid more attention, it wouldn't be so easy to steal their things. We're definitely not Fae, that's something else entirely. I'm what people wanted to believe in. The one who snatched their last coin for a beer, swearing they had it just a moment ago. The reason they can't find their left sock in the morning. The cause of a missing wedding ring, oh, so on. You offend me in my own home. So not nice. Sure, it's junk to you now, but when you have to head out into the cold and can't find one glove, well, suddenly it becomes very important. And that glove? I've had it for ages. And I'm just helping people appreciate the little things, because those are the only things that truly matter in life, right? At least that's what some bores say. Nah, it's just hilarious, watching you all lose your minds over a missing key or a sock. And I've been doing this. Oh, you shouldn't ask a lady such things. But you can ask me. I don't remember exactly. 9, 10 centuries at least, maybe more, 15, 23, I don't know. Strange. And since I'll be dying soon, a crypt seems perfect. That's right. I used to play tricks on people back in the homelands. Back then, they respected me. But ever since we came to Avalon, it's just been getting worse. They're forgetting. Sometimes someone still tosses salt over their left shoulder for me, or maybe leaves a little bowl of milk with honey outside, but those folks are rare now. And when they all forget me, that's the end. No, it's just the natural order of things. I've lived long enough anyway. But since I'm kicking the bucket soon, I could pass on some of my power to you. What you say? Well, before I give you some of my power, I just want something from you. Something stolen. Nothing big or expensive, just a little trinket. Just sneak into... Will you do that for me? Great! Now you can either keep your word and commit the terrible sin of theft, or break your promise! And if you ever feel like a bit of thievery, I'll be waiting right here. Well, have you got a little stolen something for me yet? Yes, this is exactly what I was looking for. A human doing my work. I can't take it. You've been just a great source of fun. All right, time for my part of the deal, I guess. Close your eyes, put on a serious face, like something very mystical is happening. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And done. Now you've got a bit of my power. Go into the world, use it well. Nah, don't worry. You'll feel it when you sneak up to pinch something from someone. Take care now.
Please, state your business. Again, you really like killing, don't you? That's the carcass of Fingerless Kong, isn't it? They've been hunting him for the slaughter of 2 keepers, and now they finally got him. Well, you have. Here's your reward. Well, well, the famous Bromar. No face and no life. That savage wiped out an entire unit of Camelot's infantry. But he couldn't take you down, huh? It's like the gods themselves made you for the job. Though I'm not sure which ones. In any case, you've certainly earned the gratitude of the capital. You are truly remarkable. I've never met anyone with such an insatiable thirst for blood. I almost wish there were more bounties left. But alas, you've handled them all. Please, take this as a token of Camelot's gratitude. And keep up the good work. I hope it brings you as much satisfaction as it does me. Do you keep bandits' fingers as trophies? I would.
This feeling, it was so strong, so real. I remember now, the weight of it, the power. This blade was never just steel. It was a part of me. Yes. The sensation is unmistakable, but it carries more than my soul. It carries a part of my legacy. A sword like that, it doesn't yield easily. It demands strength of body and of will. You'll need to grow stronger before it will choose you.
Oh, a new face. It's always nice to see someone new here. Welcome. Why didn't I notice you earlier? Yes, my apologies. Ever since breakfast today, I've been sort of lost in thought. I keep thinking of my dear mother's cooking, especially her famous pie. You see, all we got here is venison and fish. Venison, then fish. And then fish, and more fish. I can live with all the bullshit that's thrown at us soldiers. But the longer I live, the more I realize there's not much to live for, except food. And I'd kill for a slice of that pie. As if it were that easy. I ain't much of a cook. And Rorik, the one we have here, well, he says we're soldiers, so we can stick our complaints up our asses. Really? Sure, I remember it well. Here you go.
I heard that dew fell down the stairs and didn't break a single bone. So that's a start. Other than that, no, I can't think of anything.
It's you. Mahone is getting better. I don't know what you've done, but your results are remarkable, at least for us. Unfortunately, Cole isn't improving, but I'll allow the refugees to stay. His fate is in their hands. They'll do what they want with him. I'm not going to be responsible for his life. It's not our concern. No. I only care that the situation is resolved. One less thing to worry about.
There are a few retired keepers living there. They might tell you about the good old days if you ask them nicely. There are also some refugees from north of the island, since we had nowhere else to put them. I don't really know much about what's going on in that place. I just make sure they have everything they need, more or less. You can always go see for yourself. People fleeing from bandits, from the weirdness, you name it. I wasn't exaggerating when I said we were the last beacon of hope this far south. For these people, we are. Don't know how many more we can take, but that's a problem for another time.
It's more than a sword. It's a promise. A blade that stands for unity, for strength, and for hope. It wasn't just mine. It belonged to Avalon. Every swing, every battle was fought for the land and its people. But Excalibur is also a burden. It demands more than just skill. It demands purpose. Without that, then it is just steel. Seawall. He was the first to set foot on Avalon, not me. He decided that if anything were to attack us in this strange land, he would shield me and take the first blow himself. I remember loyalty, a fierce, unwavering loyalty, to me and to Avalon. He must have been someone I trusted deeply. Perhaps, as we move forward, more memories of him will come back to me. For now, I only hope his loyalty wasn't in vain.
Go. Bring glory to your ancestors. Therov will be waiting. bring glory to your ancestors. Therov will be waiting.
Our leader, and soon the leader of all Dalriata. He doesn't piss about trying to make deals with Camelot, but fights for what we're owed, with fire and iron. He will unite all the tribes, and then we'll march on the capital. No. One Eye is in the temple, and as I already said, you're not going in there. True. I can't wait for it to go up in flames.
We need to make a plan. Camelot will soon figure out something's not right.
Don't fret. To the Dolriada, honor matters more than life itself. We gave you our word.
But do you realize that taking this temple was a terrible idea, right? It's just gonna speed up Camelot's intervention.
Taking the temple was inevitable.
Why? What do you mean? Are you trying to provoke Camelot into invading? Or you just not like the Old Mother?
We believe in the same goddess, but we call her Mera.
Well, that doesn't answer my question. What do you want? You don't look like you're from the tribes. How did you even get here?
Whoever she is, I can't say she lacks courage. We don't usually take visitors, so she must have found a way to get here. Well, that seems to be a matter for the Horns of the South. I do not need to be involved. I trust you to know what should be shared, and what's best kept to yourself.
I don't know what kind of madness brought you here, flashing that pin, but my friend's right. You've got courage. So, tell me, who are you, and what do you need from me? Ha! Good luck with that! Only King Arthur can wield Excalibur. Every fool on Avalon knows that. Ah, Caradoc. Well, that changes things. I had a feeling that pin you're waving around was his. Fine, yes. Every new captain gets a set of secrets passed down from his predecessor. And yes, one of those secrets is how to touch Excalibur and survive. But nothing in life is free, you know that. Do something for me, and I might consider sharing our greatest secret with you. Galahad the Pure is breathing down my neck, and I hate it when someone's breathing down my neck. Even worse, One-Eye's men say he's already set up camp at our old stronghold in the west. Well, in theory, the Horns of the South should be on an equal footing with the Round Table, but that's just theory. In reality, they treat us like we're beneath them. They demand we supply them with food and protect the South, and all we get in return are threats that Galahad will be sent to put us in our place. I met him once, you know. He's no knight. He's a butcher. Bloody windfucker will fly from Camelot to the Horns just to hang half the garrison for whatever he himself will perceive as disobedience or treason. And I can assure you, there won't be any investigating when he arrives. Galahad needs to die, obviously. That'll solve most of our problems. We'll just say he had an unfortunate accident, you know, fell on a pitchfork or something, and sweep it under the rug. By then, we can continue our talks with the tribes, and by the time anyone from Camelot decides to act, it'll be too late. I don't see any way out of this that doesn't end in open war between Camelot and the tribes. Not to mention, half of my men will probably end up burned at the stake for treason or some other drummed-up charges. And I can't openly risk a coup. That would only make matters even more complicated. So, as you can see, you're the only one who can do this. The choice is yours. Yes, it's that simple. Just flash that pin to his guards. They'll let you in without a problem. And now, excuse me, I have things to do before the matter is settled.
stop right there. Who are you? And what do you want here? It's Sir Galahad to you, vagrant. But it's true, this is our camp. We're his personal guard. But you won't be meeting tonight until you tell us why you're here. It's true that this pin obliges me to take you to the knight. But did you actually earn it? Or did you just pluck it from a corpse? Well, that's for Galahad to decide. Go. But bear in mind that Galahad is not a patient man. I only hope your cause is worth his time. Otherwise, we'll be carrying you out in a sack. The door is open. You'll find Galahad inside. Try not to make him angry.
Why would you want to fix it? Do you even know what it is?
Take some advice from an old man. If there's a giant, ancient statue that somebody tried to turn to dust, they must have had a good reason for it.
Well, if you put it that way, then I suppose I have to tell you the truth. Otherwise, the terror from the sea will bite me in the ass while I bathe.
Of course I can fix it. I've been doing this kind of thing since I could swing a hammer. It's a skill we pass down from master to apprentice, generation to generation. Nothing fancy, just good old blacksmithing. Obviously, though, you'd have to bring me a couple things so that I can actually do it.
Wanderer in the sunken village. You must be lost. Back in the day, you just needed to look at the stars and you'd know where you were going. Now, even they are misplaced. I guess I'm just an old man listening to the sound of the sea. Every wave carries a story, you know. Some are whispers, others are roars. I like to think they're keeping me company. Long ago, I decided to wait for something to happen. So I'm waiting for what's ahead of me. But I can feel that it's closer than ever. Everything that's around us, it's not yet the end. And that thought really bothers me. The sunken village was not always sunken, but one day someone, undoubtedly important, made the decision, undoubtedly necessary, that it would be better to make it so. So the wave came and made the village into the sunken village. And its inhabitants, well, you can see for yourself. Long ago enough for people to have no chance of discovering why it happened. And yet, recently enough that this place still reminds us of it. Now the village is what it is, and the past has washed away. At least it can still be home for them. And I'll stay and look. These are interesting times indeed. Among others, this wouldn't have happened if not for Camelot's desperation. Many tragic decisions were made. I don't know if the word was so unambiguous or if its interpretation failed. What happened on the fields of the Charred Conclave wasn't just about the flood, my friend. It was about things and forces we don't understand. That's a good question. Maybe they burnt during the Charred Conclave. Maybe not. Nevertheless, the punishment was delivered and justice prevailed. Once again, the world was made a better place. At least that's what those who set fire to the stakes preach. all in the name of the Word. I know that some druids did it. Specific individuals, although their names have long been forgotten. This is no great mystery, my friend. You'd have to ask those responsible for the fun. Who knows what's going through people's heads? Maybe someone ordered them to do it. We'll never know. Monsters? I think you misunderstand. I don't see any monsters here. Only lost villagers, still clinging to their home. It's sad, but as you can see, not much depends on us. The world just keeps on happening, and you happen along with it. They were given some time, which they've tried to use as much as they could. That's all. I'm glad they allow me to stay here despite what happened. I like this place. It's the cycle of life. There's nothing to be afraid of. If you're afraid, it means you're struggling with something too much, my friend. Sometimes you just need to sit and look. Watch everything turn. I have everything I need. The entire world in one place. Before you go, I would like to ask you one thing. Who are you? I understand. I see you. I hear you. And I have a feeling that you will find what you're looking for. Farewell. And thank you for visiting me, my friend. You can come keep me company whenever you want. The sunsets here are beautiful.
How did you, Oh, forget it. I don't even want to know. Just give me a moment.
Here. That should do it. Do whatever you need to, if you're really sure about this. But please try to come back alive.
I have nothing to tell you. I could try to talk you out of it, but I'm guessing that wouldn't work.
Who dares disturb my peace? You made an oath never to summon me again.
his will, the fire that bends the world to his command. I am the blade that shapes kings and shatters tyrants.
Enough, Merlin. You can't keep throwing lives into this abyss. These experiments, they're destroying what remains of us.
Destroying us? They're what's keeping us alive. Do you think the Four Dwellers will stop for pity or mercy? Every soul we lose here saves 10 more on the battlefield. You told me to do this. You sanctioned this. And I'm close to getting it right. I know it.
No. We can't justify this. There's no victory worth such a cost.
You know full well, Arthur, that this isn't about victory. It's about survival. If we don't push these boundaries, there will be no future for your kingdom. For Avalon. You dream of peace, but without victory, there will be no peace to dream of. The path ahead is brutal. Now, we lose everything.
And yet we keep losing people and gaining nothing in return. We must change the path.
They volunteered.
They volunteered to save our kingdom. And you've gotten no closer to doing it. Their sacrifices cannot be in vain, Merlin. Find another way. Use your mind, your wisdom. Leave this slaughterhouse you've created behind.
A different way. That will take time. And resources we may not have. The enemy will wait.
They will if I make them. Whatever it takes, I will buy you that time. Find me a weapon that wins this war without annihilating what we fight to protect.
Whatever it takes.
Yes. Let it be known that it was my decision, and I will bear the consequences of it.
Oh no, my king. People can never know. It was all my idea, and you knew nothing about it. All of us have our role to play. You are the leader, and they need to help you. If we win, you need to become more than a man. You need to become a symbol for your people and for the kingdom we will build. That could be even more important than the power I will harness from you.
Merlin saw Avalon for what it was long before the rest of us. He told me that Tainted Grail wouldn't hold, not forever. That the weirdness would gnaw at our walls, at our minds, at our very bones, until nothing human remained. But he still fought to map a way forward, to carve some sense into this land, and in the end, the land swallowed him whole anyway. We were losing the battle at Tuathan's mouth. Our last push before the weirdness took the field. Merlin was with us, bleeding, exhausted, but still weaving his spells. Then it came. Not a beast, not a man, not something we ever had words for. A shadow wearing 1,000 torn banners, moving like it had no shape of its own. Merlin raised his staff, spoke a name I didn't recognize. And then he was gone. Not killed, not struck down, just gone. Like the land itself had taken him back.
He was the fire that forged order from chaos. He was the hand that lifted kingdoms, the will that carved a path through darkness.
Now, I remember. Before you judge me, it all seems so obvious now, doesn't it? The right thing to do. So he figured out how to twist the Four Dwellers' power into something we could wield. I told him to conquer the weirdness, and in the end, he did. He found a way to make me stronger. Stronger than any man had the right to be. It wasn't just magic. It was something deeper, older. A force that reshaped me. That's the question, isn't it? I keep thinking about Seawall. He was ready to pay the ultimate price for what we were fighting for. It was supposed to be a reminder. The sword was never just steel. It was a symbol of what we stood for. Strength, justice, the will to carve a path forward. A weapon, yes, but also a promise. I wanted them to remember, to fight for those ideals, to uphold them, even when I was gone. Even when there was no king left to lead them.
Another piece of the king's soul reclaimed, right? What did it show you this time? The weirdness. The king thought it could save us. Merlin thought it could be controlled. Together, they were willing to tear the world apart to win. I was a prototype for Merlin's latest idea, immortality. Me and Seawall, the king's loyal pawns. Used and discarded when they found a better way. When they decided to go even deeper into their madness and turn our king into a monster. Seawall was Merlin's first attempt. I was the last. We could say I was lucky, but to say that would take a truly macabre sense of humor, don't you think? Fight back. Against who? Merlin? The king? You don't fight gods when you're just a pawn on their board. You endure. You wait, and when the time comes, you either break, or you're left to clean up their mess. That's what I do. What I've always done. Even if he didn't, he should have. He was desperate to win, and desperation doesn't leave room for conscience. Every scream, every scar, even if he didn't see it, he allowed it. That's as good as approving it. The monsters, the weirdness, the chaos, all of it leads back to them. We're left in the ruins of their grand plans, trying to uphold their ideals, fighting for what never was. It's time to bury all these fairy tales in a well-deserved grave. And that's what I do. You've seen what they did, what he did. And that's not the end of the story. It's not the extent of their sins. Find the pieces of his soul. Put him back together, if that's what it takes. And then we, or I alone, if you decide to defy me, can end the cycle. Either way, we will get to his resurrection. I've seen it too many times to believe the cycle will be broken before it happens. But know this, once he's whole, Arthur's power, his mistakes, and his madness will all return. And when that moment comes, I'll be there. Whether to stand with you, or step over you. The choice is yours. Just remember that when that happens, and you stand by his side, there won't be room for both of you. Start. You've already started. But if you want the next piece, head to Connacht. The menhir there is failing, the weirdness swallowing what's left of the village. You will need to find another artifact. The shield our king gave to Palamedes. He was one of the king's finest, a voice of reason amidst the madness. But it didn't save him or his legacy from what they had coming. Find the shield, and then, well, we will meet again. We'll see if your perspective changes.
There's nothing for you here, Wanderer. The doors are closed. And if I couldn't open them, you won't either. Tyrannus of the Thoid tribe, Dalriata. And you? Likewise. Great minds think alike. And apparently they're drawn to the same places. Many have tried. I thought I was worthy, but I keep failing. I've been camped here for 3 moons. There's no life for me outside this cave. If I can't get through, this is where my story ends. A meeting. It is death and magic. It draws its power from the ancient mist. Of those who went hunting for it, only a scant few ever returned to their tribes. Look for the mist, and in the mist for antlers and an evil eye. They say its feet don't touch the ground. Though those are the words of the madman who somehow survived an encounter with it. We call them the Mist Bearers. Everyone from Thoid wants to face one of those wraiths. And I'd love to get my hands on one of their corpses. Those are priceless and can be used for strong magic. No one else will pay you for a Mist Bearer, because no one knows what to do with its carcass. But I do. The Thoid tribe respects the laws of duels. If you open these doors, you'll have the right to enter. And if you manage to slay the Mist Bearer, I'll pay you in gold for everything you bring back. At least I'll get something out of this pointless mission. Then maybe I'll invite you to further collaboration. Return alive and you'll find out. Good luck, Wanderer. May fate be kinder to you than it has been to me. What are you looking for? You did it. Impressed. I wish I'd been the one to face the Mistbearer, but I bow to the one who managed to slay it. Excellent. And here's your reward. The guild never stopped operating. At one point, we chose to work from the shadows, but we never ceased to exist. It wasn't the first time in Avalon's history that a group of ignorant fools manipulated by politicians needed a scapegoat. The Druids were the first target, and the Alchemist's Guild was meant to be next. We preferred to disappear on our own terms, but we still care about the fate of Avalon and its people. Our guild was indeed formed in Camelot, but we fled from there long ago. The Thoid tribe is the only one that doesn't fear magic. The guild saw my potential and invited me into its ranks. What does it matter what he thinks? He has his mission, the tribes have theirs, and I have mine. History is unfolding elsewhere, and the guild intends to secure a place in the front row. Who rules the south doesn't matter. The fate of all Avalon is at stake. If people wish to kill each other in the meantime, the guild won't stand in their way. Yes, I did. With your courage, you've proven yourself a worthy candidate for the ranks of the Alchemist's Guild. And to be honest, it's been a long time since I've felt this confident about a new guild member. So, if you're interested, I might have a few assignments for you. What do you say? We seek the spark. We believe it holds the key to surviving the inevitable horrors that have already begun. There aren't many of us left, and our ranks remain hidden. You'll meet the others as you advance through the levels of initiation. Sometimes, though, we fall victim to our own secrecy. Some members delve too deeply into their research, or wander into dangerous places, and that often leads to trouble. Experiments that spiral out of control, or a misinterpretation of the meaning of life itself. Sometimes it's both. You'll understand in time. But first, I'd like you to do some reconnaissance for me. Consider it a warm-up. The weirdness, of course. We know it's the source of all creation in Avalon, but not everyone can handle it. People fear the weirdness, so the weirdness creates nightmares. When we reach the primal source, the spark of life, we hope to tame it enough that it's no longer a threat. I only hope the other members haven't forgotten that this is our mission. Sometimes there are misunderstandings about our leaders' orders, and that can end badly. So, what's your choice? We have a valuable member, a researcher of the weirdness named Eckhart from Connacht. A very wise man. I have my own mission to complete, so finding out why he hasn't contacted us falls to you. I'll mark his workshop on your map. If something unfortunate has happened to him, at the very least, recover his research. Let's meet at the statue of the Morning Harpist in Connacht.